All right, let's take a look at Lesson 7 on page 195. So today we're going to look at the distributive property and partial quotients. You might remember when we worked on our multiplication chapter that we worked on the area model, the distributive property, and those partial products. And you might remember, like, if we had a problem like 23 times 62, we took our 23 and our 62 and we split it into tens and ones, right? And we had 20 plus 3 and 60 plus 2, and then we multiplied the parts together and then added them at the end. Well, today we're going to work on that same type of method, but this time with division instead. So it says the distributive property allows you to divide each place value position by the same factor. It says Jessie has 369 beads to be split evenly among 3 necklaces. How many beads can Jessie put on each necklace? So we need to find 369 divided by 3. Okay, so we need to take that 369 and to split it up into its hundreds, tens, and ones. So we're going to say 369 is 300 plus 60 plus 9. Okay, and that is the middle part of our area model. Okay, so we split it. That's the answers part of our area model. Compared to before, all of our parts were on the outside, right? The answer now, the dividend, is what we have inside. So we have 369. And it says we're going to divide that by 3. So you take a look. We have 300 in one box, 60 and 9. The 3 is on the outside. So we need to figure out 300 divided by 3. Well, let's find that fact. We know 3 divided by 3 is 1, and we can use that mental math strategy of tacking on our 2 zeros. So if 300 divided by 3 is 100, our 100 is going to go above here. So we have 3 times 100. Let me just try and refocus this. 3 times 100 is 300. And then we do the same for the next part. 60 divided by 3. So we wrote that out here. Well, let's find the fact. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Tack on our 0 of 20 to make it 20. So 20 will go up top here. Then we have 9 divided by 3. Okay, 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3, that's a basic fact. The answer is 3. So 3 will go up here. Then we have to add those parts together. Okay, the 100 plus the 20 plus the 3. 100 plus 20 plus 3. If you need to, stack that to add it. Okay, and we get 123. So 369, that was our dividend, divided by 3, our divisor, it gets us 123. So Jessie can put 123 beads on each necklace. Now, in order to check, we can multiply our answer to check it. So we have 123, that was our answer, times 3, and we have to see, do we get that 369? Well, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. So 123 times 3 does give us that 369. Okay, let's try just a couple of these together. Look at the next page. We have a vocabulary word at the very top, and it says partial quotients is a method of dividing where you break the dividend into addends that are easy to divide. So just like partial products is the answer to a multiplication problem, well, partial quotients gives us that answer to the division problem. Okay, so another way that we can try this is by taking a look here. It says there are 738 students in Manuel's school. There are 6 grade levels in his school, with each grade having the same number of students. How many students are in 5th grade? So it says find 738 divided by 6. So we divide the hundreds first. 600 is close to 738 and is compatible with 6. We have to find those compatible numbers. So if we divide 600 by 6, we get 100. So 100 is our partial quotient there. Then we're going to subtract 600 off of 738, and we get 138. Okay. Now we need to find another product that's close to 6 times something, that is close to the 138, or a partial quotient. Okay. So 120 would be close. Okay, 120 is close because we have that 12 that works with the 6. 120 divided by 6 is 20. Okay, so 20 is a partial quotient there. Then we subtract that off, and we're left with 18 from 138 minus 120. Then we take 18 divided by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 3 is that partial quotient. Then we can add together those partial quotients. 100 plus 20 plus 3 is 123. So there are 123 students in 5th grade. Okay, and then we can check by multiplying 123 times 6, and 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13, 6 times 1 plus 6 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So 123 times 6 does give us that 738. Now, partial quotients is a way that we can use our mental math strategies, but it's a little bit more difficult to find those compatible numbers all the time. So let's take a look at the next page. Let's try and use our area model method to solve some of these, okay? Not the long division method yet, okay? So if we have 248, remember that's our dividend we're going to split up. So we need those 3 boxes because we have a number in the hundreds. So we have 200 plus 40 plus 8 gives us 248. And we're dividing this by 2. So remember, we need to find the parts that are going to fit up on top here, right? And eventually we'll add them together. So 200 divided by 2 is our first part, right? Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and we're going to tack on those 2 zeros. Then, so the first part is 100. Then we have 40 divided by 2. Well, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and tack on that 0 to get 20. 20 times 2 is 40, remember. Okay, and then my last part is 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, then we're going to add these parts together. 100 plus 20 plus 4. 100 plus 20 plus 4. Add it together, and we get 124. So our partial product is 124. To check it, we would say 124 times 2, and we're going to see if we get the 248. So 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. And we do get the 248 we started with. Let's try another one. Let's try number 4. And let's, again, do our area model. Okay, draw that first. And I'd like you to solve the problems this way for this lesson. You might see problems like this when we do our countdowns, or when we get to forward testing, or even on map testing. So it's important to be able to recognize those partial products that turn into those partial quotients. So 585 divided by 5. Well, 585, we have 500 plus 80 plus 5, right? And we're dividing that by 5. So my first part, I need to see what times 5 is 500. Or 500 divided by 5 equals what? Well, 5 divided by 5 is 1, and tack on my 2 zeros. So my top number is 100, right? Then we have 80 divided by 5. Well, this one might be a little bit tougher for us, okay, because it doesn't show us the basic fact. We're going to have some leftovers here. So we could count up by fives, right? Or we could try a little, a few other mental math strategies to help us out. But if we count up by fives, we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's 10 of them. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. That gets us up to 10 plus 6 is 16. Okay, so this part is 16. Then we have 5 divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so that part is 1 on top, okay, our ones place. So let's add those together, 100 plus 16 plus 1, and we should get 117. Now, let's see, can we check that and see? We should get 585, because remember, this will end up being a big fact family, right? If that is 117, we should be able to flip it to multiplication. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8, and 5 times 1 is 5. So that did work out. A little trickier on that one. Let's try one more. 488. So I need my 3 boxes, right? Split it into 488 divided by 4. So 488 is 400 plus 80 plus 8. And I'm dividing it by 4. So we have 400 divided by 4. Well, 4 divided by 4 is 1. Tack on my 2 zeros. 80 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Tack on my 1 0 to get 20. Okay, and I'm going to put those parts up top. So 100 plus 20. Sorry about that. And then 8 divided by 4 is my last part. 8 divided by 4 is 2, because 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm going to add on a 2. Now I have 100 plus 20 plus 2. And 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. And 1 plus nothing is 1. So I should get 122. Now let's double check it with multiplication. What is 122 times 4? Sorry, here, let me give you a little bit more room up here. 122 times 4. I have 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. And that's what I started with. Okay, what I'd like you to do today is I want you to try one problem on your own, okay? I want you to try page 199. Remember, if you get stuck, they have steps right up here above for you, okay? And I want you to just do number 1, okay? Do number 1 on page 199. Try your best on it. Draw that area model, right? So you're going to draw your area model. 844 divided by 4. So split it up. 800 plus 40 plus 4. That's the inside. And we're dividing that by 4, right? And if we divide that by 4, you have to find each partial quotient, right? And then add those together at the end. Okay, try your best on it. Turn it in when you're done.